What's happening, YouTube? I'm Transient. Welcome to my channel. Right, this is going to be a very quick video, mainly because I don't really have the resources to actually read from it. So I'm just looking at a Reddit thread about the Forerunner update. Now, obviously, we all know this is a gacha game, right? And now gacha games generally go on for years and years and years if they have the player base. And I love this game and I want this game to go on. But gacha games tend to have they kind of do the same thing. It's not, to be honest, it's not just gacha games. If a game's going to have any kind of longevity, they have to keep introducing new content and so on. Now, if it's a game based around gearing and getting stronger and so on, at some point, each piece of gear or piece of content that bring out, eventually, it becomes easy due to the amount of gear that comes out to. Not just a gear or heroes, wherever they come out, in order for you to clear content. After a while, it becomes easy. APOC 2 came out, everyone thought it was very hard. Now you've seen people with scores of 300,000, 400,000, and so on. People are now finding it easy. And the way they always counter this is by bringing out new content that's too hard for your current heroes and gear, which, as we all know, they have done with the Gear Done dungeons. Gear Raid, but they've got Gear Raid 22, 21, 22, 23, and 24. So they brought those out, and there's rumors around APOC 3, and of course there is Abyss. We've got Abyss 1 at the moment, and so there's probably going to be Abyss 2, Abyss 3. Anyway, that being said, so they bring out hard content, and once they bring out hard content, what do they have to do? They have to bring out heroes that are capable of taking down the hard content. And if they don't want to bring out heroes, the other thing they do is they give you new gear. And that is what I'm talking about, because according to the new Forerunner update, we are getting some gear updates. Yeah. Now, the gear updates, unfortunately, I'm kind of on my phone at the moment, so I'm not going to read off my screen, but I'm just going to basically talk very briefly about some of the stuff that I've seen. Okay, so with gear, there is going to be something called the Gear Gem Enhancement feature. So after you reach enhancement level 16, you can access Gear Enhancement interface. Right, hold on, let me just think about something. I'm going to start this. Auto fight, Tides Raider. Let's do a few. Okay, so after reaching Gear Enhancement level 15, you can access the Gem Enhancement interface through Gear Enhancement, blah blah blah. Right, with various gems can have different effects that can be used to modify gear. So they've got 4 types of gems: Darkfall Gem, Evolution Gem, Variant Gem, and Transmutation Gem. And the Darkfall Gem enhances the primary attribute of mythic or higher rarity gear. So for example, it means if you've got actually it's my best I do it this way. So if you've got, for example, your Wicked Vengeance, I'm assuming if this works out, is the main attack attribute, you can probably increase that by, I'm assuming, a certain percentage, but it's 1 to probably 5% or something along those lines. Okay, second one, Evolution Gem. This converts T1 gear, mythic or higher, into tier 2 or tier 3 gear of the same part while preserving its secondary attributes. So that means something like I can't even literally think at the moment. Asclepius. You could basically turn Asclepius gear into invigoration gear, yeah, and so on. Or you could turn Night Terror into Ageless Wrath, and so on. Okay, so there's that. Then the next one is Variant Gear, which grants a variant attribute to ancient mythic weapon or bangle, turning them into a variant gear. Okay, so basically you can get more access to more variant gear as opposed to having to wait for getting an unidentified piece. Okay, and then the Transmutation Gem, which changes the type of one selected secondary attribute on ancient mythic variant gear while preserving its progress bar. So I'm assuming then that means if we look at a piece of gear, if we look at a piece of gear, something decent. Okay, let's say this one. Let's say my HP was, well, yeah, with the variant gear, is it variant? Yes, variant. No, transmutation. So you could change that HP to, for example, flat attack, but obviously the bar would not increase. So that's that. That's quite cool. Okay, so we've got gems. For convenience, refine and recast features previously in the Foundry will be integrated into the gem enhancement interface. Alright, okay. Then next we've got something called Artifact Augmentation feature. In the Artifact Enhancement interface, you can perform the following augmentation operations: Common Augmentation, Advanced, and Runic Augmentation. In Common, you slightly increase a random artifact's attribute. So I'm assuming, so we got that. Artifacts, its attributes, you slightly increase whether HP or attack. Okay. Then you've got Advanced Augmentation, significantly increases the random artifact attribute. Okay, so attack could go up like 20%. And then Runic adds an extra attribute to the artifact which can be reset repeatedly. Okay, that's very cool. All right. Now then we've also got something called Malric's Halls of Illusion. Now, Malric's Halls of Illusion, we have trials hosted by Malric, the Rogue of Ruins. You speak with Malric in the camp to participate. Each challenge requires a trial keystone. Trial keystones can be obtained through other game features. Each trial keystone contains different ancient inscriptions leading to different trials. Once a trial begins, it cannot be restarted. Trial keystones have a maximum storage limit, and so on. Okay. Now, I'm not sure about what the rewards for the trial keystones are, but I'm sure it's related to the artifacts or augmentation. So you do the trials and then you get the different artifacts. Augmentation. Yeah. Okay. All right. And then there's new campaign stages for hard difficulty and expert difficulty, level 9 for both of them, level 9 1 and 2, part 1 and part 2. Okay, all right, that's all very, very cool and quite very exciting. Now, if I was to hazard a guess, in terms of the gems, I think the two probably most important ones, or the ones people would want the most, are Darkfall, due to enhancing the primary attribute. I mean, that's quite good. If you can increase from 60% to, let's say, 70% or 75%, I don't know how, that would be pretty good. And also the Transmutation Gem, changes the type of one selected secondary attribute or ancient best. Those are the two gems that I think will be the most crucial. And then also in the augmentation, I think the augmentation that everyone is going to be interested in is obviously the Advanced and the Runic. Common or basic. Advanced and Runic augmentation is the ones that are going to make the most difference to your account. Yeah, I think there's more stuff added, but those two things, the gear enhancement gems and the artifact augmentations, are going to make a big difference to the game, and I'm quite looking forward to it. Yeah, so I think, if I'm not mistaken, a content creator that I like, which is Mystical has a Forerunner account, and I think this Forerunner update comes out either tomorrow or the day after, so he's gonna run through it on Friday. So I'm looking forward to looking at that, and we can have a better idea of what we can look forward to on the global server when we eventually get these updates. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I'd be interested to know who else is excited about these updates we might be getting soon. But I'll leave it there. Whatever you do it well. I'm Transient, and I'm out.